not to leave out them in the west, north and south. Highly high, Rastafari Sealer. Yeah, I'm on there to reason of the International Rastafari gathering in 1997 on the island of St. Croix in what I call the Virgin Islands of Africa. Other people call it USPI, so on and so on. Yeah, by the time that gathering was called, I'd been to several of the Rastafari gatherings in various places, including Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Miami, and so on. So within that year, I was on the island of Nevis. You know, I heard about the gathering, but I had to come forward. I couldn't really miss that. And I have been given Rastafari Virgin, so came forward and reached St. Croix by the Nyabingi Tabernacle. You know, and meet up the ones, you know, one day from St. Thomas, St. Lucia, Barbados, Trinidad, US, of course Jamaica. You know, we had great elders within the movement like, you know, Ras Abraham, Ras Bonages, Ivy Irons, Ras Ivi, and many ones, you know, and I is all great within life and the thought of Rastafari. So, by the time I did reach St. Croix, the gathering had already started and been going on. So the last day of the gathering was to be August 17th, which is of course the annual Marcus Mosiah Garvey's birthday, you know. So first night I get there, they had the gathering a place called Island Center. So then now reached there and you know, had quite a few ones there, you know, blasters and otherwise, and Ras Shalom gave his presentation. Then he also introduced Tafari Tazadi, you know, who was an eloquent speaker also. And he also introduced the elders to us by name, you know, Congo Rocky, Mama Baby I, also who I didn't mention earlier. You know, Ivy Irons and, you know, Bongo Watu and those ones. You know, enough respect. So then, want them on stage and start up a reasoning from the stage to the audience, you know. So within that time, a brethren stand up and ask the elder, Ras Bonages, he says to the elder, well, I hear you on the radio yesterday, and I'm the one that called you and asked you about Bob Marley, and, you know, I'm going to ask you again about Bob Marley, basically. So, Bongo Watu, who is the same, Ras Bonages, born out Bob Marley, you know. And I remember he say, Bob Marley carried on I and I faith into Hodam and harlotry. So the virgin who asked him was very upset about that, and other one, it became a big discussion, a controversial discussion on the land, you know, as for who is on, you know, who is in agreement and who is not in agreement and so on. I myself, as a Bindi virgin, I understand, you know, the elders' outlook on things. I myself have been clashed with him on certain reasonings of morality and different things. You know. Enough respect to the elder, you know. And brought enough discipline, much disciplined outlook to the Rastafari church, I think. So within that now, everywhere I go, or the next day, the day after that, and so everywhere I go, the reasoning is on. Yeah, you hear what them man say about Bob Marley, so on and so on. So it didn't really even subside until after the gathering, you know. All throughout, you know, one probably quieted down, but it didn't really subside. It was just discussed with a little less passion or aggression than before, but some people were quite aggressive about it, you know, for either side, you know. So from there, you know, the gathering itself was really helpful. You know, I saw a lot of intricate things, intricate what you call dynamics between, you know, brethren and brethren, sister and sister and sister and brethren, so on, you know. And also approach the elder as Bonages with some of my own, you might say, questions concerning, you know, the life of a Rastafari from his point of view as the elder who's been trying from such time. And the elder is quite kind of uncompromising in his outlook. So So one of the things that he was very adamant about is that a woman does not have the right to leave a man unless the man put her away. And if a man marry a woman that have children, then he's basically still committing adultery, basically. So, the few of us who was there in the man quarters, it wasn't the whole congregation that we had that reason about. A few of us were there in the man quarters and, we reasoned it, forward and forward concerning how much in tune with reality is that, So then a brethren also mentioned that Empress Menin, the wife of Haile Selassie, had 2 children before being with Haile Selassie. And the elder wasn't having that at all. So okay, from there we kind of just let it ease down because we couldn't research and say, and there were the days of people going on Google and looking up whatever and so on. It's like you actually have to wait and find a book or find someone who really know and different things like that. So from there, things wasn't much more helpful. They had the ones from different parts of the Caribbean give their presentations. Bongo Wives from St. Lucia, and many ones, including Rastafari and Congo Rocky and Mama Baby, who I much admire as a elder Rastafari couple who I've been chatting for the longest time also, So within the seal up of the ISIS, there was much article reading, much article exchange and connection between the ones and ones, right down in Nyabingi grounds in Bethlehem, St. Croix, where the tabernacle itself was still in the process of being built, but it was together enough and the quarters was completed enough that the ones had, good enough resting place when they were there and being, still protected at least from the rain if it did rain while the idols was riding up. And it was, the idols and the voices was reliable throughout, each riding up of idols was, definitely a elevation to ascension. Okay. So basically, that's my take and experience on the Rastafari, International Rastafari Gathering in St. Croix in 1997. I don't know that there's been another International Rastafari Gathering since then. And much of the elders then and the ones are dispersed or deceased and elevated or ascended in their own heights. So I give thanks for the moment of reasoning and pray that the Most High call us forward, raise us up as a people and cause us to be our true self, who we really, as they say, supposed to be, who we really are, who we really supposed to be, So give thanks. Isaac Rastafari, I was Celeste, so see you later.